What is up, you guys? You're watching Sergio Seekers. Before I get started with today's little car vlog, if you can please give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Like I said, give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe button. I'm posting every single day until further notice. I'm taking all video requests, so if you have any video requests, definitely leave them down below. Any kind of fashion related type content or kind of lifestyle. I do have about 30 videos that I have to film, but I don't mind adding more, definitely. I think always to have YouTube ideas and for you guys to always request them is something that I always like. So go ahead and request them and I will make sure that they'll get. Today's requested video was like, Sergio, what are the worst designer experiences that you've ever experienced in your entire life? So I don't know if you guys know, I did a vlog. I just got my Starbucks como siempre. So those videos ago, I made a shopping vlog at a mall, telling you guys how some of the sales associates were very pushy, and I just don't like that type of energy. Like stuff like that does not make me want to shop. It makes you just want to leave and order stuff online. Telling you guys, you want me to tell you some story times about the worst experiences of my entire life? And some you guys said yes, that you're so interested. So today I have 3 stories. If you want to see a part 2, because I definitely have like maybe 6 or 7 stories, but I don't want to make this video too long. Pero tengo 3 stories that I'm gonna be telling you guys, and all of them are pretty bad. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. So you guys are all doing all right. All you guys are doing okay. I know it's kind of rough out there. You know, I estaba poquito enfermito, pero ya me siento mucho más mejor. I'm wearing this Veronica Beard blazer with this little dookie insert, so you can literally take this thing off and you can change them in because they have like a little zipper right here. And then the bag that I'm using, I am going to the grocery store today, and I'm using my Balenciaga fanny pack. And I just got into this fragrance. Like, I know this fragrance has been out for the longest, Dior Sauvage Eau de Parfum, but I like it. I know a lot of men or a lot of people wear this fragrance, but I kind of like it. I think it's a really nice fragrance. And yeah, so this is the bag that I'm using. I have to go grocery shopping like right after this video, but let's go ahead and get started with the story time. So the first story time is gonna be one that happened when I was in high school. So this happened during the winter season, right? Maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I want to say. And so my brother has soccer, right? So we would always have these little soccer like weekend trips, and we would always have like, you know, little trips or little tournaments that we would always have to do all the weekend because my brother was really into soccer. And so one weekend my dad was out of town and it was just me and my mom and myself, right? So my brother had soccer tournaments all weekend, and I wanted to go to the mall because I was getting bored. So I will say at a young age, my parents definitely let me be independent. They definitely let me do whatever I kind of wanted to do. So I think I was like 16 and I told my mom, hey, like I want to go to the mall. Is it okay if I take a Uber to the mall? And so my mom said yes. And the reason why I went is because I had a gift card for $50, and I thought that was a really great incentive for me to go in and shop at this store. I will not be mentioning the stores, but on a lot of these, I'm able to tell what store I'm talking about. Just for me, I just won't be able to disclose it, but you guys in the comment section, inteligente, you guys are really smart, so I will be using context clues and you guys will be able to tell what stores I'm talking about. A $50 gift card to this store, and then I also took a Uber. So I took a Uber there. I was talking to my Uber driver. I remember he was like some older gentleman, and you know, me bajé and I went shopping. I went to like Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, you know, like the typical stores I usually go to, especially when I was in high school. And then I end up going to this store that carries you know, very expensive skincare items or expensive makeup and just expensive ready to wear, a lot of pricey items, right? Always wanted something from a certain skincare line, and they're known for like having the best cream in the world. They're known for having some of the best, you know, cleansers, toners in the entire world. And so I had this $50 gift card, and I was working at Chick-fil-A at the time, and I thought, you know what, I can treat myself, because if I want like a cleanser, I think it was $100. I know that's a lot of, we're not spending $100 on a cleanser right now, maybe on a serum, but not on a cleanser. But I was like, you know what, I want to look at it, or maybe buy a toner. I definitely want to buy something from this brand to get me started, because back then I didn't really know a lot about ingredients and skincare stuff. Now I wouldn't really buy from that brand, but I was just very interested. And so keep in mind, I was probably wearing, no, I knew what I was wearing. I was wearing some Prada sunglasses. I was wearing a black plain top, long sleeve Hugo Boss shirt. See, I always remember a lot of stuff. I was wearing my Prada Luxe tote. that I had in high school. I was wearing probably some premium denim, if they were maybe Joe's, I believe, the page, and then I was wearing some Ferragamo loafers, and that's what I remember. That's what I was wearing. So I guess like when I was looking and playing with all like the skincare stuff from this line, I was like, oh my god, like, because I've never really played with a lot of items up close. This is this older lady, right? And I guess, I don't know if she just got done selling something, or she just got back on the floor, or she's rearranging something. So it's literally, it's el counter así, right? And then so it's me up front playing with all like the stuff, and it's the lady in behind me. And then she gets up and she said, "To buy today, are you just dreaming? Are you just dreaming? Are you just dreaming?" No, I'm not the type of person to make stuff dramatic, and I'm not the type of person to make everything into a big deal. I'm definitely not that type of person. Usually a lot of things I let it sweat off, but this one I was just so taken about like, am I looking to buy, or am I dreaming? Like, what do you mean dreaming? That I can't afford to buy overpriced skincare products? Is that what you're really telling me? That's why I'm dreaming? Are you saying like Selena? Dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow, like that type of dreaming? Like, no entiende. And I was just so taken upon by it, and I said, oh no, I'm just looking to buy some skincare products. Like, you know a lot about the brand, but I always see people talk about it, so I just wanted to look at it very up close. And like I said, I've always been kind of professional in every situation that I go to. I'm always clean cut, I'm always professional, I do everything by the books, and I'm a very modern person, but I also have very traditional values. So I always treat everybody with respect and with dignity. That's just one of my core values. Always extend myself. So I was just having a conversation, and I think she kind of got the memo that she was talking to the wrong person, because as she kind of got up, she saw what I was wearing, she saw my bag, and that, not saying that I had to have that bag for her to pay attention to me, that's not what I'm saying, but she knew that she kind of messed up. She knew que como hizo mal. And then so she started feeling bad for me. Like, she started feeling like oh my god, like this is somebody that was actually gonna buy something. Because I knew, like, the moment she said that, like, I was taking a pod back, but that made me knew right then and there that I was not gonna buy anything, because I knew if I were to buy something from this brand, I wouldn't want her to get the commission for it at all. At all. Even though they probably work on a very small commission, I was still not comfortable with giving her my commission on a sale. Therefore, she just started talking to me like, oh my god, like this is the best item ever. And she, like, literally, her attitude went from like thinking that I can't afford the skincare line, thinking that I'm not good enough, to seeing the way I was and the way I carried myself, to being up to a 10, being like, oh my god, like this could potentially be a really big sale, or maybe this person could buy a few items. And so, like, I let her say what she wanted to say, and she ended up giving me a bunch of samples, because she knew what she did was wrong. Like, morally, you can tell, and I felt her energy, because honestly, if I could have went and complained to corporate, and I could have complained to her manager, and she honestly would have gotten had very deep disciplinary actions against her, getting me a lot of samples. And I just went about my day, and I told my mom about it later that day. Like, I went shopping and stuff, and then my brother's tournament and my mom were done. It was like right around closing time. I spent basically like 5 or 6 hours at the mall. Mom picked me up, and I told her, she was so appalled. Like, she wanted to call the store, she wanted to call corporate, she wanted to make it a big deal, but I just said it's fine. She gave me some samples. You know, I didn't tolerate that behavior, but I made it kind of clear through my aura that wasn't something that was nice for her to do. And so that's how that happened. And yeah, that's the first one that I remember that was a really bad experience. The second one is going to be one that happened again when I was in high school. And so this happened, you guys know, but in high school I was very into makeup. I was very into that beauty guru. Like, you can still ask me a lot of advice about makeup. Like, I think I know what I'm talking about. I really don't wear makeup. I don't really wear anything like that. I'm not into it. I do wear like foundations and concealers and very minimal, very natural face makeup, but I don't really like to wear like a red lipstick or like colored eyeshadow. That's just not my thing. That's just not me. When I do wear makeup, it's more like a foundation, concealer, powder, maybe a little bit of bronzer, and call it a day. Very into makeup. Cool. It was on a busy Saturday. It was me, people. So it was 4 of us, teenagers. So it was me, it was another guy, and it was 2 girls. And then the guy and one of the girls were dating, and then the other, me and the other girl were just kind of good friends. So we all were all groups, you know what I mean? And so I ended up going to this beauty store because I wanted to look at a lipstick. Looking at the lipsticks, right? And in high school, I think that's when I first bought my Louis Vuitton bag, and I think I bought it. You know, it was a very new bag. So the way it happened is I wanted to try on a lip product, right? I don't really remember exactly qué fue. I don't think it was, oh, I know what it was. It was a liquid lipstick. It was a liquid lipstick, and I wanted to, they thought I was gonna buy it, or la quería comprarla. Go into my bag, and so like the way I was is, this is the entire makeup counter, right? And like I said, they don't really have people, they kind of help each other wherever. And so all the makeup is like this, like, you know, it's you play around with. And I had my bag like this, and I opened my bag and I took out like the lip product that I already own. So I was kind of comparing it, and it was from the same brand. And so, you know, I was comparing the item, and then I put mine back into my bag. But as I put it back into my bag, somebody was already looking at me. As she assumed that I shoplifted the item that was mine to begin with. And so she started coming up to me if I needed help. It made me very uncomfortable because she made it seem like I was shoplifting. And so I don't know if you guys know, but I like to get separated. Yes, I like to shop with people, but for the most part, I like to separate and I like to do my own thing. I don't really like to be with like a lot of people. Like, I'll go shopping with friends, but I will do my own thing for the most part, and then we'll kind of meet up and have lunch or whatever. Like, they were in the store too, and I let them know what happened. So like at this time, like already like 3 other people have approached us saying like, do we need help, blah blah blah. And like literally the guy was not here for it, guys. He was not here for the foolishness. He literally went off on one of the girls, saying, because I knew she saw me, and I knew she probably thought I took something, even though I didn't, because that's not me. That's not, I don't do that type of stuff. Off, you guys. He literally went off saying like, how are you gonna accuse me of shoplift? So funny, because you know that's how like people, like teenagers talking. I wasn't necessarily embarrassed because I don't think it was for her to say something, because I knew she said something in the speaker at this store, because they all have little headsets, and I know she said something to keep an eye on us or something like that. And whatever happens, they kind of deserve it, because I'm not a shoplifter, or I don't do some sort of fraud or something like that. So I was like, that's just not me, so I really don't care what happens. He went off, and me and the 2 other girls just started like laughing, and we just walked out the store, and then the other guy just joins us, and we just kind of walked off just laughing. And you know, yes, I could have been, you know, oh, you're accusing me of shoplifting, but situation kind of like, oh my god, like I'm not. So he kind of made it kind of funny, because I was not, like, this person's not into makeup. Like, he is a straight male. Like, he is not like, he's just not into this. So he's just more like of a Home Depot type guy, you know what I mean? And so like, it was just kind of funny him going off in a cosmetics store. But that's the second worst story time. Now the third one is probably going to be the worst one, and this happened to me about a year ago, and this made me cry, and this made me had a breakdown. So let's go ahead and get started with this little story time. This one's going to be the one that really made me cry, and that really, nothing really gets to me, guys. You guys know that I've been bullied all the way since I was in 1st grade. I remember the first time somebody called me the F word. I literally remember a lot of situations. So I've been through thick. I have very, very thick skin, and a lot of things don't really get to me. If people just say something, I'm just like moving, because honestly there's no time to, and you know, focus on negative energy. But this one, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, this one really did get to me, because I've never experienced, as a Hispanic male, I've never experienced discrimination anytime. Not about my sexuality. I mean, yes, in school people did make fun of it, but it was just because they were insecure about themselves. But I've never really had like my skin tone or my sexuality, or you know, just myself. Like, I've never really gotten discriminated against that. Like, I've never really faced discrimination in my entire life, and it's something that I know and I acknowledge, because I know a lot of people, they do get discriminated against on a daily basis. Something happens to them on a daily basis, or it does happen pretty frequently. I've never experienced, never in my entire life, like I don't remember like a time where it was this bad that it made me have a little breakdown and made me cry. And so let's go ahead and get started with this story. So this story was at a department store. Now this is a different department store than the first story. Same thing, skincare. And I was looking at this skincare brand because it was cruelty free, and it was more of a premium skincare line that was, you know, kind of green friendly. And so I was interested to buying some stuff. So I go to this skincare counter, and I go, and I buy like $500 worth of skincare products, right? I buy $500 worth of skincare products. I'm so happy. I bought a serum, I bought a cleanser, and I think I bought like a toner. I don't know. I remember I bought like a few items. So this store was doing a free gift with purchase. So if you spend $125, you get this tote that no one really uses out. Honestly, I feel like stores or like the law should be regulating a lot of stuff, because like when people give me like free samples and stuff, sometimes I don't even take them. Sometimes I'm just saying, oh, thank you so much, but I really don't want it, because honestly, it will literally get stored in a closet or it's gonna get thrown away, and I just rather have someone else have it that would appreciate it a lot more than for myself. But anyway, she gave me like a tote with a bunch of samples, and then she gave me a lot of samples from that actual brand. So, you know, I buy the skincare products, I go home, bought it, you know, everything went good. I used it for like a few days, but I noticed that it started breaking me out. And I thought it was a green brand, but then I started looking through the ingredients list, and a lot of the ingredients I didn't really like for it. I had fragrance, and it just had some things that just irritated my skin. So I end up going to return it at another location, just because you know, I'm always out and about, I'm always in meeting things all the freaking time. So you know, I went in the beginning, I was at a meeting, so that was the closest location. So I ended up going to one that was closer towards my house. I go and I return it, right? And it's like, honestly, it's like a Tuesday. I think it was like February of last year. It was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. I was wearing some Chanel sneakers. I was wearing some black ants. I was wearing my Burberry hoodie that you saw in my last vlog. I was wearing my Givenchy Antigona, the big size. And I also had shopping bags from other stores, because I was also shopping, you know, for other things. And so I had my shopping bag from the store. I don't think I only used the Suero, and I think I only used the cleanser. I didn't use all of it, but I did use 2 of the items. And whenever I was going to go return all the items, I'm just keeping you guys in mind, the credit card, the matching credit card to the receipt, I had my original receipt. I returned every single sample. Like I said, I don't really like to have like a lot, because sometimes they just end up being in the trash, and I think it's just such a waste. So I had all the samples, I had everything. Basically, the way that I got it is the way I was returning. So I end up going to this store, right? I go inside, and you know, when I return it, right? Go and I return it, and I just say hi, like I just bought these skincare items. They just didn't work out for me. The fragrance in it broke me out, as you can see. I was just wondering if I can get a refund. And the lady was not here for it. The lady was like, unfortunately, we can't return this here. You would have to return it to the original store. Yeah, we just wouldn't be able to return it here. And she looked me up and down. She looked at me like I was a thief. She just looked at me very wrong, and she gave me this disgusting look that I will always see if I always remember the situation. So, you know, I'm just like, okay, thank you so much for your time, and I'm going, and I left, right? It was just so embarrassing, because there was other people that was working for other counters, and you know, it was on a slow day, so there was nobody in the store. There was like right around closing time, so everybody saw it. So I was so embarrassed, like me daba tanto pena. Remember, I was gonna be busy for the next 2 weeks, so I was like, I have to return this today. And so I end up calling the exact same store, and I end up speaking to like the manager in charge. Look, what's happening? I let her know that I have all the receipts. I only used 2 of the items. It's within the return policy. Like, I did everything correct. You know, I was not doing anything shady. And even if it came down to it where they couldn't return it because it was used, you still could have returned the other items, or you could have exchanged it out for something else. And this store does not have like everything. I followed the return policy on everything. The lady was like, I'm so sorry, let me get back to you. Do you know who was helping you out? Who was helping you out? And I was like, yes. And I described the person, and she put me on hold. And like literally, guys, like 3 minutes later, 4 minutes later, she literally comes back and me dice, this is a loss prevention issue, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to return these items, and yeah, you just have to go return it at the original store. And literally just hangs up on me. Just literally, guys, hangs up on me, up on the telefono. And I was so mad, and I remember I was crying. Like, I went to my car and I just started bawling my eyes out, because I've never had somebody tell me that it's a loss prevention issue. And I'll let you guys know what store I'm talking about. I like to go into the store and try on items and look at what they have, but I really don't buy a lot of items from this store, just because of experiences like this that I've always kind of had. And I've had worse experiences at the store as well. Like I said, if you want to see a part 2, definitely let me know down below. Just so appalled. My disappointment and my frustration turned into anger. So I went and I called I think I had my American Express at that point too. or my Chase Sapphire. Called my bank, I let them know what happened. I said, this is gonna be something that I'm not gonna be tolerating. I'm just letting you guys know I am gonna be returning it to the original store, but if they do not return it, you're definitely gonna have to do a chargeback for me, no exceptions. You're gonna have to do a charge, because there's no way for me that, you know, I have to go out of my way, because this location is like far away to go to the original store, return it, and I'm just making a trip just to return it. So I'm wasting my entire day or half a day or 4 hours just to go return something. Another store just did not want to return it. No lo quiso regresar. So I let my credit card company know, like, you know, just letting you know, FYI, this is the situation, how long the phone conversation, everything was, and I'm just letting you guys know for your records that I was just I was in a moment, you know. I was saying, this company is gonna get bankrupt. They have $5 billion in debt, which is true. This company, you know, they may have good deals, but, you know, they're ultimately going to end up paying the price for how they treat their customers, which is true. And I said so far is true. And so I just started bawling my cries out. And then the next day, I woke up in the morning and I literally drove to this location, and I was not playing. I was like dressed to the nines, Chanel flat bag. I was dressed a blazer, a denim, a sneaker, and I was like, you're gonna have to return this for me. This is what happened at your original location. You're gonna have to return for this to me, no exceptions. Like, I'm not gonna take no for an answer, and you're gonna have to tell me yes, or if not, I'm gonna be calling corporate right now. I said, I'm not like that type of person to be like, I'm gonna call corporate or blah blah blah. Pero like, you know, I was so embarrassed. You know what I mean? What manager tells me that this is a loss prevention issue, that we're not going to be able to return this? Like, quien te dice eso? Like, who tells you that? And who, like, I just don't like the entire situation at all. And I told the lady the entire situation. I said, this is what happened to me. This is why I'm here early in the morning returning this, wasting my time to return this. And it was the customer service lady, and then the beauty manager from Upfrist, and I explained it to her, and she was so apologetic. She was like, we can help you find something else. I'm so sorry this happened to you. We can definitely return this. And I even said, like, I had the matching credit card, I had my original receipt, the email receipt, I had the gift with purchase shopping bag, I had everything, the tissue paper and everything. Like, I only used 2 of the items, and the fragrance broke me out. I was so apologetic, and, you know, she did return everything for me. And she was very nice. And, you know, as she was being nice, obviously I kind of calmed down. But it was just, I never experienced something like that before. And I told her, like, I've never experienced somebody telling me it's a loss prevention issue, that you couldn't return it, that I have to return it to the original store, even though it states that nowhere near the return policy. And it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And that's why I don't really buy anything from this store. I don't remember the last time I honestly bought anything in the store. Like, I will go in, I will look at their stuff, I will try on stuff, but I physically won't buy anything from this store. I will prefer to give my businesses to other stores that are in Dallas-Fort Worth. And so, yeah, like, that's probably the worst thing. And I've never, like I said, I've never experienced discrimination before. But that situation, I did. And I didn't have a voice as far as my YouTube channel, but if that would have happened to me and I would have had like this channel that I had now, I honestly would have made a YouTube about it, and I really wouldn't have cared. And I know this probably company would have sent me a cease and desist letter, but honestly, I would be the type of person that I would just literally just fight for it. Like, it was just the worst experience ever. And I will, like I said, I don't really like to give my business to this store anymore. It's just not a fun environment. It's not fun. It is not cute. The way they treat the people, they go about situations, I'm just not a big fan of. And, you know, I hate to say it, and, you know, sometimes, like I said, me being like a blogger or a YouTuber now, I know you have to have some sort of an image. You're supposed to act a certain way, you're supposed to do a certain way, which I still am. I think, like, even though I make content that's a little bit out of like what other bloggers or fashion bloggers do, I make myself a different way. And so sometimes I kind of hesitate to make videos like this because you know, I don't know what people will see it as, but honestly, this is my channel. If I want to post, you know, my worst designer experiences, I'm gonna post it. If I want to make a video about, you know, like a brand, something didn't work out, I'm gonna post about it. I don't want to be like a blogger that's all PG, that literally just says, oh my god, like, please buy these items, there's 40% off, woo woo, link in the description, or here's my picture with me with something that I never even used, that I'm just getting a $5,000 check to pay my rent for the month. Like, I just don't see myself doing that. So YouTuber now, like, it's really fun, but I noticed that I'm not really going to change the way. I don't see myself conforming into changing into stuff that I don't want to be. But yeah, these are going to be 3 story times that I've had. The first one with, well, they all basically had to do with like makeup and skincare, which is quite awkward. I've had some very bad like clothing and shoes experiences. I will kind of make more videos about that if you want to see a part 2, but these are probably the worst experiences that I've had, especially the last one is the one that really got to me, because I've never experienced something like that in my entire life. And it's just, I can't believe like it happened to me. And I have friends and family members that go through this on a daily basis, and you know, yes, when they would tell me, I would relate to it and I would feel for them, but I've just never been through it myself. And now that I went through it myself, now I know how it feels like. Now I'll go through, and now I you know, a lot of situations I like to be analytical and I like to observe, and I like to say I like just to see everything, and now I see different points of views. And I think that's what I like about life and everything, is that, you know, life is a journey, and you'll learn and you'll view things different ways every single day. And I think that's something that's so beautiful, and always learning and always changing. I think that's something that's so beautiful. But yeah, guys, this is my little 3 worst designer luxury experiences. If you want to see a part 2, por favor, let me down low. All video requests, please leave them down below. I'll be filming some sort of video requests. Give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll make me happy. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers. No lo puedo creerle que now we have made it to 15,000, and you guys know my journey is to have 100,000. Like, that is my life and my dream goal, right? And you know, day by day, you guys, us, will be building relationships, and we'll be making this into a reality day by day. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for mirando mis videos. I really appreciate it. Check out some of my more videos. And yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next video, and I would love to hear some of your experiences down below, and hope you guys are taking care out there, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's videos. Bye, guys. Los quiero mucho y se cuidan mucho. I love each and every single one of you to death. Adios.